Hey Brewers fans, we know it can get real cold outside. So let's warm you up with the latest on the crew. It's time for Hot Stove Weekly on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. The 2026 championship season cannot get here quick enough. The crew came up short in the 25 season, and it's time to turn the page and look towards the future. Get the latest on free agent signings, trades, the front office, and the fans. It's Hot Stove Weekly with Tommy Wirtz. Here's the franchise Tim Allen.
What's going on, Brewers fans? Let's talk about your favorite baseball team, the Milwaukee Brewers, and we welcome you in another edition of Hot Stove Weekly. Tim Allen, Tommy Wirtz, and we appreciate you tuned in. We're live here in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. And Tommy, a lot to get to in tonight's show.
Yeah.
A ton to get to.
Team looks a little different today.
It does look a little different. We're going to talk about Freddy Peralta. He addressed the media in New York, and we'll hear from him in just a second here. Also slated on the show tonight is going to be the two latest Brewers acquired in that Freddy Peralta deal, and that is Brandon Sproat and Jett Williams will join us. And so we look forward to that. Brandon Sproat will join us here in about 20 minutes or so. Stick around for that. We also would invite you to participate in the show anytime. As always, the Nicolay Law talk and text line at 414-677-1250. That's 414-677-1250. And it's brutally cold here. We all are aware of this, but we are under 60 days away from opening day. That's a good thing. Let's see here. Pitchers and catchers going to report on February 12th. What's the date today? The 27th?
Today's 28th.
28th?
Mm-hmm.
Look at this. Just a couple of more weeks, and we're into spring training at American Family Fields of Phoenix. So we're excited about that. Can I start out with a news and note, a happy news and note?
Okay.
How about Blake Perkins? He got married over the offseason.
Well, I mean, depending on who you ask, happy news and note, right?
That's true. Did you find it interesting, Tommy? And obviously we hadn't worked together last year when this occurred, but did you find it interesting when Brewers manager Pat Murphy said that, hey, if you send Blake down, you send me with him?
Murphy has his guys, man, and Blake Perkins. Like, what more do you want from a guy who runs fast and plays hard on defense? Like, that's what Murphy wants to see, man.
I've never heard that from any football or basketball or baseball coach. I've never heard that. It may have occurred, but Blake Perkins, his role has been somewhat significant over the years he's been here, and we hope that continues. But I'm going to say this, that I think he's a fourth and fifth outfielder and not a 1, 2, or 3.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that his defense is very starting center field caliber. No one's denying that, but he is the defensive substitution guy at the back end of the game more often than he is everyday center fielder.
Okay, and let's see here. Since we have the camera rolling, let's see if you guys can see what this is.
Oh, yeah. What are you carrying around? What is that?
This is a mini bottle.
Yeah.
Of your boy.
That's Jake?
No.
Oh, okay. You got me excited. He was batting right-handed.
No, this is Craig Counsell.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right.
So we're going to figure out a way that I know we have a lot of golfers tuned in. And we're going to figure out a way to maybe do a contest and see how people can tee this thing off.
Yeah, I mean, like I was wondering, well, there's all these bite and scratch marks all over it already as you're going there.
Well, we have the official post-gamer Judge Jamo. He was going to pound him with the gavel. So that is still an option. But just saying, my hatred of the Cubs is still... It's still really steamy hot here on a cold January day. And we'll get used to that. And I think a lot of our newer listeners here throughout the state of Wisconsin, you're going to get to know me and my hatred of the Cubs. In fact, Pat Murphy told me directly that I needed to seek some help because of my hatred of the Cubs. And they're a better baseball team, I think, than they were last year. I think.
Yeah.
I'm not totally convinced of it, but you take Kyle Tucker away. We have to remember that the first half of the season for the Chicago Cubs last year was pretty good. And it was not only pretty good, it was good against pretty stiff competition at that time. That right there, I don't know if you looked at who they played, but not only the Brewers got off to a little bit of a slow start, but the Cubs got off to a hot start on top of playing some tough opponents.
Yes.
That was the tough part, and that's why the Brewers' odds to win the division down there at the Potawatomi Sportsbook were so enticing. They were just in late May, Tommy.
Yeah, I mean it was May 25th, I believe, is when that run starts, right? Where you can go, and they were 63-17 over their next however many games or whatever
Crazy.
it was. It was an unreal run. And it was at that moment the Cubs were 6 games ahead in the NL Central.
Yes, sir.
And then a month later they were like 6 games back. It was that quick. I mean, you always hear the phrase of you can't win the division in insert month here, but you can lose it in insert month here. The Brewers won the division in June. That's what in July. After that run in the summer, it was over. No matter what happened in September, it felt like the Brewers had such a ridiculous run that the Cubs were defeated they thought they had it locked up already at that point. And maybe the Cubs contributed a little bit to losing the division in that stretch, but really the Brewers were just unreal at that point. They won the division in June.
Let's keep that in mind when we head into the 26 championship season. Let's keep that in mind, that relax if it's now we want them to win. Don't get me wrong. And I'm probably, Tommy, you and I are probably going to be griping about a loss in, late March or early April, but let's keep this in mind or try to. That if it is off to a 500 start after 16 games or something, point back to last year where they put it together. And it looked like, to your point, Tommy, it looked like they were going to lose the division.
Oh, man.
Early.
I mean, you 4 games in, this is going to be the worst Brewer season of all time. I mean, that was right. that was those bats that everyone thought were going to take over baseball, and the Yankees were going to have the best. I think the Brewers had the worst run differential in Major League Baseball history through 4 games.
And Pat Murphy is going to point that out. We're going to hear from Pat Murphy next hour, his acceptance speech of the Manager of the Year, 2-time reigning NL Manager of the Year. I hear a lot of Bob Uecker in that presser. Now, I've heard it, and I've read the transcription, and just reminded me of Bob Uecker up there. It kind of did.
Yeah.
It was just a weird feeling I had the first time I heard it, that, this wry sense of humor. And we all know, we're getting to know Pat Murphy very, very well.
A little bit of self-deprecating.
You bet. And that's very Uecker-like, and downplay, under promise, over deliver, all those things you could put and attach to Brewers manager Pat Murphy. But so we're going to hear from him, Jett Williams, Brandon Sproat coming up in just a few minutes. But Freddy Peralta did address the media, and Freddy acquired in the Adam Lind deal. That was interesting. It was like 19-year-olds at that time. Yeah,
the deal was very much seen as like, Adam Lind just had a very good year. What are you getting this Freddy Peralta guy for?
Yep. Get something. And they did, and they got a good one. And now he is outbound. He is in New York. He talked a little bit about potentially signing big and long in New York with the Mets, but he wants to get acclimated a little bit to the surroundings, know his teammates, which is all fair. It is, as he wants to. You got to find a place to live. You got to, how do I get to the ballpark? All of those things play a part in transitioning. I mean, you guys know this. Those of you that have relocated for your own job, that is not an easy thing to do. I mean, I hate moving in the same city.
Right. Yes.
Could you imagine, Tommy, uprooting? And some of these guys are traded on a yearly basis, and then they got to uproot kids, and where do they go to school, and where do I go grocery shopping, or whatever it might be? Where am I going to go have dinner? Freddie's going to do all that. He's going to get acclimated before he talks to President of Baseball Ops David Stearns there in New York. But he had some nice things to say about Milwaukee and the community.
And it was a little hard at the same time because, I spent my whole career in Milwaukee, and, there's a lot of great memories over there. But, this is, it's business, and so anything can happen. And I was prepared for the moment. And being honest, I'm really happy about to be here in New York and represent the New York Mets organization.
Yeah, he's happy to be there in New York. That's tough to hear as a Brewer fan.
Well, it sounds like he was prepared. I mean, this didn't. He said that there as well. Like they didn't blindside him, right? And it's maybe that was a respect thing out of Matt Arnold and the rest of that front office of like, hey, we're fielding offers. New York feels like it's the best one right now. And even if that was a week notice, a day notice, whatever it is, they gave some sort of notice. And I tend to believe it was longer than that based on what they were negotiating between. And what are you going to do? Blame Freddy on that? Like, this is how Milwaukee operates. And I think it's nice enough for him to say, I spent my whole career there and some of my best memories are in Milwaukee.
It's a common theme and just repeats itself, rinse, repeat. I get it. I know Brewer fans. I've talked to a lot since the trade, and some are frustrated and some are pretty pleased with the deal. And, a lot of times I'm going to trust. I think I mentioned this on Monday, but I'm going to trust. You trade the likes of Josh Hader and win the division. You trade Corbin Burns, you win the division. You trade Devin Williams, you win the division. You trade Freddy Peralta, you win the division. It would go to say, I think, why not?
Why not?
Keep that trend going. But now, after the dust has settled here on the Freddy Peralta deal, I'm wondering if Brewer fans have kind of adjusted to it. And here I'm more or less, like I said, just it sucks, but that's the way it has to be. And it's unfortunate, and no magic elixir or pixie dust is gonna change the economics of the game of baseball anytime soon. A lot of people think that it's going to change soon with a new CBA negotiations going on, but I'm not convinced that it's going to even get done. I think that if there is some economic restructure in the game of baseball, Tommy, it's not going to take full hold for about a decade.
Ooh, yeah. I mean, the deferred contracts are going to mess this whole thing up, right?
Yep.
I mean, the Dodgers have done irreversible damage over the last few years anyway, right? I mean, they're not going to, you already promised contracts out. You're not going to be able to decline any of those.
It's, but again, it's not going to happen anytime soon. I do believe it's going to happen. Why? Because it has to happen. For examples just like this, Freddy Peralta. You don't think that if the Brewers could have done a, again, let's project the changes in the economics, a max deal, for a lack of another term, use up a portion of the percentage of the cap. I think they would have absolutely offered up a Corbin Burns deal or a Freddy Peralta deal or a Devin or a whoever, Willie Adames. Of course they would have. That's just not the way it's put together right now. So what are your thoughts if you want to jump in here? Nicolay Law talking text line at 414-677-1250. Again, I remind everybody, even though you may not want to call or text now, at least grab your phone and put the fan in your contacts and just go ahead and type it in. I'll give you a couple seconds to open it up. And that way, when something does come up that you want to, I don't know, celebrate about or gripe about, we're here for you. So again, that number, just put it in as the fan And that way you can say, hey, man, call the fan. It's 414-677-1250. 414-677-1250. That's the Nicolay Law talking text line. That's where we find Harley, our true American hero. Harley spent many a time in the VA with his buddies, and they're all real supporters of Brewers baseball as well as post-game show. Harley, good to hear from you.
Good to hear you guys. First time I found you guys after the switch. Glad I did. And the guys up here say hello, and I'm looking forward to a great year. First of all, good luck to Freddy. I mean, last year we knew he was gone. I mean, it was a done deal as far as I was concerned. I think we talked about it at nauseum.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that what you just said, Tim, is discouraging to me. I saw reported, I don't know how much truth there is to it, and that's the question for you and Tommy, is that the 100% of the owners were behind locking out, for lack of a better term, the players next year.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any truth to that? You guys have mentioned, I don't understand the in and outs. I don't know how many Brewer fans do. I don't, the ins and outs of this, but this has got to stop. I mean, we might as well just fold up and just say, LA, it's yours.
Yeah,
I mean,
Harley, it's almost like this just in, Giannis traded to the Dodgers.
Yeah, I mean, it's frustrating. It's after last year's, not debacle, but what a great year Milwaukee had, and went out to LA to face that devastating pitching staff. I'm 72 years old. I've been following baseball for 6 decades. Something has got to change.
Mm-hmm. I think it will.
The price, I mean, it affects everything. The price of tickets, price of parking, price of beer, the price of hot, the price of soda, family of four, $400 to go to a game. I mean, how long is this sustainable?
It's not. It's not. It's going to change, Harley. We all know it. I don't think, like I said, I don't think it's anytime soon that it'll take full effect.
Why?
This is a long process.
Why, Timmy? Why?
Just because of what are you going to do on it? Let's say you had a cap here. This is real barbaric, simplified example.
Okay.
If you did have a cap, then what are you going to do about a player that just signed for 7 years? You can't take that money away from that player, and you can't penalize the team for signing him at the time because it was wide open. Essentially, there was a luxury tax.
Can't you back it up and restructure it?
And how much percentage would go to this more fair economic structure? How much of that long-term deal would apply to a potential salary cap? All of that stuff is going to be so difficult. And you're right. Harley, hey, tell the boys thanks for everything, and we appreciate it. We look forward to hearing from all you guys.
Okay, thanks, guys. Take care.
All right. And what Harley said, Tommy, on the owners, the owners are in a little bit of a pickle here. They like making money.
Right. Yes.
They're all making money.
That is their goal, ultimately. It
is, but I don't know if they want to rock the boat, if you will.
Do you think a salary cap is more important than a salary floor?
Floor, right. Yeah. The floor is important, I think. Probably just as important.
Okay.
I do. I think that's important. That's just the common good. And that's coming from the fan base. The fan base is in Pittsburgh or Miami. I mean, I don't have skin in the game for Pittsburgh Pirates fans, but I'm a human being that I understand the concept here. Wait a second. You want us to pay a whole bunch of money to go see your team. You're not even putting forth the effort in terms of payroll.
Right. I would say that if you're going to determine this salary cap, then you have to have some sort of floor, because finding out that the Dodgers are spending $500 million a year on their roster is awful and hard to be competitive, and it's not fair based on their market size for sure. The Marlins can fork up more than $60 million on their roster too.
Yes.
Be competitive. If you're going to fight about how not competitive things are, then prove that you're going to be competitive.
And it's because it's good for the game.
Right.
That's the thing. It's great for the game that everyone is competitive. And look at the Super Bowl this year. Anybody project New England and Seattle facing off?
Absolutely not.
No. I mean, what was it, 60-1 or something like that? With some of these, I don't know what they were. But wow. All right, do we have to break? We don't, or we do? All right, and then the other thing Harley said, which I think is key here to keep in mind, I think we can all be normal human beings and forget about the base, necessarily the Freddy staying here in Milwaukee and all that stuff. How about I'm happy for Freddy personally because he set himself up for something like this. He set himself up. The Brewers helped. Yeah, they gave him the opportunity. But that dude balled out. He did. And as frustrating as he could be early in games, and what did I call him for a few years? First inning Freddy? High pitch count Freddy? Or something like that? I am kind of happy for him, personally. He's staring down the barrel of a lot of money. All right, should we break?
Sorry, Tim. Yeah, I got you. I'm working over here. My bad. All right.
That's all right.
Yeah, we can take a quick break. We'll get to Brandon Sproat on the other side here. Let's wrap things up. All right.
Okay. Yeah, we'll take a break here, and then we'll hear from one of the latest Brewers, as Brandon Sproat will join us here on Hot Stove Weekly. There's Tommy Wirtz, Tim Allen, live here in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Welcome back. It is another edition of Hot Stove Weekly. There's Tommy Wirtz. My name is Tim Allen. We appreciate you listening tonight in a cold January wintry nightmare from hell. Well, I don't think it's that bad, but it is. What is it, about 10 degrees?
It's cold.
Yeah, that's okay. We'll just say it's cold. Live here in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. We are talking some Brewers baseball. Jett Williams will join us in hour number 2 of the program tonight, but keeping you warm with some Brewers baseball conversation. And we hit the fan guest hotline powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. And we say hello, and we'll introduce you to one of the latest members of the Milwaukee Brewers, Brandon Sproat. Brandon, how are you, man? Thanks for the time.
No, how y'all doing? Thanks for having me.
All right. It's more important how you are, that's for sure. And
I'm doing good. Can't complain.
Okay, good deal. Good deal. Now remember this, Brandon. You're talking to a couple of Brewer nut jobs. We are fans first and broadcasters second. So we live and die with the crew, and I've been doing that for a million years. And Tommy here, he is just one of the biggest Brewers fans you're ever going to see. So let me take you back to last year. You made your major league debut. And you worked your tail off trying to get there. Your family was involved. It took a lot of hard work for you. And then you get there. What was that like? I mean, did you have to reflect on, man, I remember Brandon, myself, when I was 9 years old and I wanted to do this. Now you're on a big league mound. You still think about that day?
Yeah, that day was super special. Getting called into the office and being told that you're going up to the big leagues to throw for the big league team. I kind of didn't realize or believe it at first. And then I went and called my parents, called them. We all cried together. Last year was definitely a long year through the ups and downs. And there's a lot of downs last year, but that's part of the game. It's part of the process. But I'm just super blessed. I thank God every single day for giving me the opportunity to fulfill my dream that I've had since I was, probably 4 years old.
Yeah, that's awesome, Brandon. You love to hear that. Those are always great stories. And, you got a little taste of the big leagues last year. And now what's the last week been like? I mean, I'm sure that's another different stage of emotions that's completely different from your major league debut. Now you're moving on to a new organization. You're getting traded for another guy who, the organization is known for all these years. Just take us through the last week on how hectic and emotional that might have been.
Yeah, it's been crazy. I was very blown away, honestly, with how quick that trade went down. One of my buddies texted me and was like, "Hey man, like your name's all over Twitter." And I really don't get on social media that much, to be honest. I was like, "What do you mean?" And he sent it to me, and it was a trade with Peralta in it and Jett, and throughout the off season, you see mock trades and you see your names, but you never really think anything of it. It's one of those things where anyone can be traded, but you never really think that it's going to be you. So when I saw that, I was like, oh, okay, I'm not going to think too much about it. And then I got the call from David Stearns, to let me know that I've been traded. And I was like, okay, thank you so much for all y'all have done for me and whatnot. And then after talking with Murph and Hook and other players and my agent, everyone is super excited for me. I'm super excited, and I've heard nothing but good things about the Brew Crew. It actually be my first time out in Arizona, so I'm thrilled for that.
Well, speaking of which, Brandon Sproat, our guest here on Hot Stove Weekly. Speaking of which, have you ever been to Milwaukee ever?
I have not. I've heard it's cold though.
Yeah, we can endorse that. We can endorse that.
Yes, we will confirm that without a doubt. But I'll tell you what, if you like outdoor festivals and live music and grabbing an ear of corn and just kind of hanging out with some really feet on the ground people, Milwaukee's your city, man.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
All right. So now when you said you talked to Murph and Hook, and obviously we know Pat Murphy very, very well. Did he pull any pranks? Any issues with that? Because he's been known. Here's how I describe Murphy. He's one of those guys where when you talk to him, you got to be on guard because you don't know. You don't know if he's serious or if it's a joke. And sometimes when it's a joke, you pause and you're like, "Oh yeah, that was funny." But you got to be on guard. Did he pull anything on you?
He did not. He's probably saving it until once I get there.
Be ready. Always on your toes for sure, Brandon. What about, we brought up Chris Hook's name there. Let's jump into some of your stuff here. Have you heard anything about him just on the outside there? Have you heard about Brewers pitching lab? I mean, when you are a young pitcher coming up in today's baseball, I couldn't imagine not getting just a little bit of excitement when you hear a team like the Milwaukee Brewers, who have figured it out with a lot of these guys and gotten a lot of guys paid over the years, that there's a little excitement that that's the team that wants you to come over.
Absolutely. I mean, you just said it yourself. I mean, you nailed it on the head right there. Those guys and those, players, coaches, they put in work every single day to get, themselves better. And I've heard nothing but great things about Hook and Murph and those guys over there with what they're able to do with young pitchers and just build them up to, their full potential. So like I said, I'm super excited to go over there and work with them. So
Brandon, your work here, you've got one hell of a defense behind you. And I'm hoping that you make the rotation out of camp for sure, but a hard sinker, ground ball, just a rollover to Bryce Terang. He flips it to Vonnie, and you're out of the inning and you're walking back to the dugout. Or is it maybe a little bit better striking someone out and walking back to the dugout?
It will depend on the situation, depends on how many outs. You can't really beat a double play ball and getting out of the inning.
Yeah, keeps that pitch count down,
right?
Tommy.
Yes, exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah, anything to do that, anything to get some more efficiency in your game. Brandon Sproat joining us here on the guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. Brandon, he brought it up there. Tim did on the other side, just talking about hopeful to make the rotation. It was something that was brought up a little bit to Jett in his introductory on how comfortable is he moving around on position-wise things. Are you comfortable in being in either of those roles, as in like trying to get some long relief to earn a starting spot, or more comfortable just coming out of the game immediately? Are you wherever the team needs you type? Like what's your ideal spot in the rotation?
Honestly, it's wherever the team needs me. I'm just going to go out there and give it my all, and hopefully come out on top for the team. So that's all I've got there.
Yeah, I got something for you. No, you want to be a starter. That's what you want to be.
Yeah, sure I do. But if the team, needs me in long relief, then I'll do it.
All right. So real quick, let's learn a few things about Brandon Sproat, the latest member of the Milwaukee Brewers. Tommy, I'll give you first pick. What kind of music do you think Brandon Sproat is into?
Florida guys love country music, right? That's what it is. That's what I'm guessing right now.
I'm gonna go with. Hold on. I'm gonna go with like a '90s rock. I'm just going out on a limb here. Brandon, what's your answer?
I obviously am from Florida, but I pretty much tell people Lower Alabama. When people think of Florida, I think of like Orlando and down below. I'm a fan of old school country.
Little Toby Keith action, little Garth Brooks,
George Strait,
yeah.
Alan Jackson.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, 90s rock, dude. I mean, you're like 10 years late on his birth there, Tim. Like,
well, okay. So Tommy, you win the contest. Brandon, you owe Tommy $20. All right, just to let you know.
Right.
Sounds good.
That's how it was. That's how it works.
All right. So Chris Hook, we had him on a week ago or so, and he is just overjoyed with working with some young arms. And an example of that would be Quinn Priester. When he came over last April, Brandon, we took a look at that trade, obviously being on the air, and we'll analyze it. And we went, wow, they gave up a prospect, Yoferi Rodriguez, and Quinn Priester's numbers. It didn't look. And then all of a sudden, Quinn Priester went crazy good. I think the team won 19 consecutive games when he was out there. That to me is encouraging for guys like you, Brandon.
Absolutely. Yeah. I know of Quinn. I've seen him pitch, and he's got really good stuff. And seeing and hearing about what he did when he got over to the Brewers was unbelievable.
I got one more here for you, Brandon. Brandon Sproat, newest Brewer pitcher, joining us here on Hot Stove Weekly. I want you to tell us what Brewers fans are going to love most about your game. How different are you from that first start last year, Brandon, to where you are now? What's something that, if you're going to trademark it on, this is a part of how I pitch, how I play the game of baseball, what's something that you think Brewers fans are going to like about you?
Well, first, she was super humble. Go out there and just kind of mind my own business and, do what I need to do that day. But just someone who's going to go out there and bust their tail every single day, through the good, through the bad. And my pitching style, honestly, is go out there and throw everything I have as hard as I can. And however the results end up, that's how they end up.
Well,
just gonna go out there and just compete with everything I have.
Shove.
That's all I
he
can
wants
do.
to shove, Tim. That's what the kids say
Shove.
now. The ones that aren't into 90s rock. Yeah, the ones that are
Yeah.
past that.
He's shoving out there today.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
All right. I'll work that into the vocabulary here. What you're going to like, Brandon, are the Brewer fans. And get your pen ready, because you're going to be signing a lot of autographs. And that part of it, and that fan connection here in Milwaukee, is super, super important. In fact, a GM years ago even addressed the team to say, hey, we got to remember, in a market size like this, the fans are crucial. So treat them nice. And not that, he had to demand that, but he stressed how important it was. So get ready. Your heart's going to break when you're walking around the stadium. Gates are open, and there'll be a couple of 6, 7, 8, 10-year-olds, and they're wanting Brandon Sproat's autograph. Get ready, because you're going to be signing a lot. They're great. They're great fans.
Well, that's no problem at all.
That is awesome. All right. Well, Brandon, we'll let you go on this note that hopefully we'll get a chance to introduce ourselves in Arizona to you, and then you can pay Tommy the $20 you owe him, and then we'll be off and running.
Should I get a mustache going for you in Arizona, or are you going to not have it by then and I'm going to look like an idiot?
No, I've been told to keep it on yesterday on MLB Network, so I think I'm gonna rock with it.
Okay, all right, yeah. There's going to be a fake mustache giveaway then in the future. I got that.
What's your warm up
That's
song?
awesome.
What's your warm up song?
Last year it was "God's Not Dead."
Okay, you gonna switch it up?
Nope, I think I'm gonna keep it.
Awesome. All right, very good. Brandon, great conversation. We appreciate it. Go Brewers, and welcome to Milwaukee.
Absolutely. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you for having me.
Awesome.
Yeah, there he is, Brandon Sproat on the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. Sounds like a good dude, humble guy, feet on the ground, Tommy.
Yeah, I mean, if he was listening to 90s rock, I was going to be concerned, Tim. I'm sorry. That
was going to be my guess if you didn't guess country.
I mean, yeah, I guess country music. I think that's like a baseball thing too. I think a lot of the baseball guys get into the country music more so than not. To be fair, he's the same age as me, so I guess 90s rock wouldn't have been that crazy in my mind. But you just think of prospects coming over. There's not a lot of prospects going back to the 90s, it feels like, anymore, Tim.
I was going to guess hip hop, and that probably would have been a better guess. I'm going to say.
Yeah, it's all right. We'll ask Jett what he likes too. Maybe he likes Jett.
Yeah, could be. We'll talk to Jett Williams, his now teammate, and we'll get into that conversation before long. Also, we'll hear from Pat Murphy on his acceptance speech as Baseball Writers Association got together for their award ceremony. And Murph, two-time reigning manager of the year in the National League, and also camp invites for some non-rostered guys. Guys, if you're planning on going to Arizona to catch some Cactus League games, you stand a good chance to see some huge amounts of prospects playing in the same game. I mean, think about it when the reserves start coming in mid-game. Yelly gets a few at-bats, Contreras a few at-bats, and then insert these guys. Frelick take your pick. We'll go over the prospects that are going to be playing Cactus League games coming up. Still a lot to get to. It's another edition of Hot Stove Weekly live here in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Yeah, welcome back. It's Hot Stove Weekly here. Tommy Wirtz, Tim Allen, and talking some Brewers baseball on a cold January night. We appreciate you tuned in. Nicolay Law talking text line at 414-677-1250. If you guys want to jump in here, you're always welcome. Tommy, I just got a text from the Bulldog, Kenny Sanders.
Okay.
Who just I think is one of the most underrated Brewers in their franchise history. Dude was outstanding back in the early 70s, just early and mid 70s, just amazing. So Kenny, great to hear from you, and we'll have to get him on to I like talking to Kenny about how the game has changed, since he played. However, I mean, it still is. That's the enjoyable thing about baseball, is that it's still 60 feet 6 inches. It's still 90-foot base pass. It's still 3 outs. It's 3 strikes. It's still stayed true to what baseball really is and was for a long, long time. And that part of it, I would hate to see changes in baseball that would require, well, now we're going to go with you get 4 outs an inning and then there'll only be 7 innings.
Yeah,
or,
I mean,
change the whole template of it. You can't do that.
No, there's no gimmicks here at all. I can hit out to the phone line here. Actually, we got another thing, Johnny, hanging out here, waiting to get on here too. You're on Hot Stove Weekly now. Another thing, Johnny.
What's going on, Johnny?
Well, I got a 100-mile-an-hour heater right now, so it's not cold in my household today. How you doing, boys?
What's up?
How you doing, Tim?
More important how you are, Johnny. Come on now.
Oh, I love that, you guys. Hey, I'm excited. Tommy, I think that's a great trade. I'm excited about Jett Williams, and I got one word for the Cub fans. You better build the moat because we got Brandon Sproat. That's our first wrap of the year, Tommy. What do you think?
You can be honest with him. I think what he wants to say is pretty lame, Johnny.
Okay, well, that's okay because I don't do 90s rock either. I'm a 70s rocker. Let's light up the Hendrix right now, Tim.
Some
my
Purple Haze.
Hey, Tim, the post-gamers party, did you give a plug out? That's going to be a great gathering for all Brewer fans this Friday night.
Yeah, a couple of days away, Swagger Sports Bar and Grill in Franklin, Wisconsin. We have a bunch of things for you guys to do. Yeah, it's going to be cold, but we're not sitting outside. You're sitting inside, nice warm establishment. A couple of Jackson Churio jerseys. Someone's going to win there. Well, 2 people are going to win, 1 each.
Yeah,
and then a bunch of T-shirts. For those of you, those of you viewing us on our stream, here's what some of the T-shirts look like. Tommy, we're developing a post-game T-shirt with your name on it.
All right.
So I hope that's okay. We'll pay you the license.
Yeah, the
pay
NIL
you the licensing
deal is going to be through the roof, just so you're aware.
Pay you the licensing deal and all that. But here you go. Here's new home.
Oh, yeah. Look at those. Those are awesome. That'll be great.
New home. So we'll have a bunch of T-shirts. There's some American Family Field gift cards to be had, $100. How about $50? Couple of those, Potawatomi $50 gift cards. That's all going to be, and then my band will be playing there a little bit later on, and you guys can watch me make a fool out of myself. Johnny, thank you for the call. We'll be in touch. We'll see you on Friday night. Things get going around 7:30.
Thanks, boys. Have a good night.
All right, take it easy. So it'll be fun. Just get a designated driver. Tommy, are you going to be there?
I'm going to be there.
You will be there. Nice.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to ask you on the air a question, and I won't tell you what it is during the break here,
okay.
So you have to answer it. And I think you'll say yes. All right, Hot Stove Weekly, Jett Williams, Pat Murphy coming up in the next hour. It is here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, talking Brewers tonight.
Hey Brewers fans, we know it can get real cold outside. So let's warm you up with the latest on the crew. It's time for Hot Stove Weekly on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. The 2026 championship season cannot get here quick enough. The crew came up short in the 25 season, and it's time to turn the page and look towards the future. Get the latest on free agent signings, trades, the front office, and the fans. It's Hot Stove Weekly with Tommy Wirtz. Here's the franchise Tim Allen.
Welcome back. It's hour number 2 of Hot Stove Weekly, live here in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Tim Allen, Tommy Wirtz, talking some Brewers baseball. One of the latest members of the Milwaukee Brewers will join us in about 20 minutes or so. Jett Williams acquired in the Freddy Peralta deal. And we'll get to your calls here in just a second as well. News on a Brewer signing in a second. On top of that, prospects in Cactus League games. Oh, plenty. So we've got all that coming up. Still a lot to get to. Tommy, we were talking about the post-gamer get-together on Friday night.
Yeah.
We do these periodically just to show our appreciation to post-game show listeners. And oftentimes we'll have the band play or whatever. And we're going to do that on Friday night at Swagger's Sports Bar and Grill in Franklin. So can I ask you this? When I introduce you to the audience, will you intro the band?
Oh, hell yeah.
So it's like, ladies and gentlemen, and
right.
however you want to do that.
Oh, yeah. In fact, like that would be like, then it's it. Call it after that. But yeah, I can do the intro for sure.
Good. Count on it. That's good. All right. We'll get to your calls here real quick. We don't have a ton of time here, so let's welcome in on the Nicolay Law Talk and Text line at 414-677-1250. Our buddy Justin, North Carolina. Justin, welcome to the show.
Hey, man, it's so great to be back on, man. You got a young stud in the passenger seat of Tommy, man. It's cold as crap out here in North Carolina, but one thing that doesn't keep you cold, Tim, is these big broads out here to keep you warm. Gotta go get you a big one for the wintertime, man. Keep you warm, bro.
All shapes and sizes, man.
I really love that interview you gentlemen just did with that pitcher. I think he brings something to the table, and coming to this pitching lab is going to set him apart from what he experienced. And I think one of your other shows, Tommy, talked about it today as far as not having to face that New York media, right? Then I look at that guy, Tate, the Tater kid. I think he's going to do well this year. But I'm really looking for Yoho to come back and have a profound impact on this bullpen, because I think another year working with Hook, working in this pitching lab down there in Nashville where Rick's sweet, I look for him to come up and do well. And then the kid Jett, man, I mean, how do you go wrong with a kid named Jett, man? Hey, Tim, can I close it the way I always do, man? I can't do that no more.
You can't what?
Can I close it the same way I always do? I can't do that anymore.
Oh, I don't know. We'll give it a try.
All right, free the pipe bomb, I'm gone.
Maybe some news on Pipe Bomb coming soon. Stick around. So we'll be on that for you. Real quick, Beer Count Kenny, you're probably 6 or 7 deep, right?
Well, I'm right around that. Just feeling a hair under the weather, but I got to get ready for Friday night. Come on down to Swaggers there and have some fun with everybody. So it is that time of the year, Cold is what it is. I'm used to sitting on a lake somewhere ice fishing. So taking a break from that, got too many other things going on. But
can we be careful on ice, please? Everybody, just be careful on the ice. I read a story. It's rather disturbing this morning. I couldn't even tell you where it is. It's not in Wisconsin.
Well, there was one recently in Wisconsin on Michigan where a couple of guys fell through, but
there were 3 kids, 3 brothers that passed away falling through the ice, 6, 8, and 10 years old. It's just
I blame the parents for that. It's like, come on, you got to use some common sense, people. You can't be out there if you don't know the conditions. Check with your local DNR, check with the local lake association.
Yep.
Just don't assume the lake is okay.
Agreed.
They're not. There's a lot of springs on these lakes, especially stay off the rivers. That's sort of the biggest tip I can give you. I give that to a lot of people on my particular media outlet. Stay off the rivers. Rivers are dangerous. There's always free flowing water. Now,
with that being said, this Brewer team, your caller Harley, I love that guy. But, the challenge for the Brewers, which is great for a small market team, is this Brewer team with their farm club, they adapt and overcome. Doesn't matter who picks up our guys here. Our best pitcher that we've had in quite a while ended up going to Arizona, and what happened to him? Oh, yeah, he got hurt. So that can happen at any time, but it's what we got for him. So getting Sproat and getting Jett, it's going to be pretty exciting to see these guys, plus the farm club, like Justin said. It's exciting. So this team under Matt Arnold, they have a lot of upswing. And I just tell people, don't lose your mind over the salary cap and all this stuff. Big money keeps flowing in from TV rights. That's why you see the stadiums continue to get downsized when they build them. They're not looking for big fan turnout anymore. They realize the kind of revenue that's coming in off of TV and everything else. So that's kind of a big deal. And that's something I think that people miss is that, yes, do they want you in the seats? Sure. But do they realize for 81 games that you're not going to pack the stadium every night? Yeah, they know that. They're fully aware of that.
Right around 30,000 for the Brewers. Kenny, I got to go, but I'll see you Friday. All right.
We'll see you Friday, boys. Looking forward to seeing you, Tommy. Looking forward to seeing you, Timmy.
There you go.
Great. Yeah. A lot of people are looking forward to meeting you, Tommy Wirtz.
I mean, that's the first time ever in my life. So I'll do my best. I think I'm all right. I think I'm a good first impression kind of guy. I like to think I'm the same dude on air and off air.
All right. Very good. And you're going to have a beer or two?
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of on this keto thing right now, so maybe it'll be a Mick Ultra, but I'll have a beer for the boys for sure.
All right, very, very good. Okay, Brewers did make a move today. Let's get Brewers fans up to speed, Tom.
Yes, Reese McGuire agreeing to a minor league contract with the Milwaukee Brewers today. It is just a minor league deal. He is invited to Major League spring training. This coming from Kurt Hogue, our good buddy over at the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, just maybe giving a little more insurance on the Jefferson Cuero coming up to the big leagues last year in 2025. McGuire, limited sample size, played 44 games. He's actually never played 100 games in a season. He's kind of always been in that backup role. Was with Boston the last 3 years, but found himself on the Chicago Cubs last season. 688 OPS guy. That's 94 OPS plus, right around a league average hitter when he's up there. And going to have a shot to make the big league club. It's probably going to be just between him and Caro to see who gets that backup catcher spot.
And Caro, from what I understand, they're looking at the arm strength has gone down a little bit because of the injury, but the accuracy is still there. They're hoping the full strength comes back with time as it goes by and heals up.
Yeah, don't want to rush it because he's still in this prospect game, but we have been hearing about him for a couple of years now. You kind of want to see what you have with the kid.
Absolutely.
Especially if Contreras is the next guy after Peralta and Corbin. Sorry. Next year problems. But yes. I mean, you do have to see what you have with him at this point. He's been in the system a little bit.
Brewers announced some non-roster invitees, and these younger dudes are going to get a chance to play big league baseball in Cactus League games. It is quite the list, and just imagine, oftentimes if you've never been to Arizona for spring training, oftentimes once they get into a rhythm of games, what they'll do is they'll get the veterans or their frontline guys, as you say, a couple of at-bats, 3-4 innings ish, and then the floodgates open, and then they just fill the void there with some younger players, some veteran type players that are trying to make the squad. But imagine guys like Jesus Mate playing in the same game as Jackson Churio. You want to talk about a glimpse to the future? Made is not going to turn 19 until May. He'll be 18 years old playing in big league games in spring training.
Well, right. And he is the headliner there of those non-roster invitees. Also, Jett Williams that we just heard in the trade and will be coming up here in about 15 minutes or so on Hot Stove Weekly. We will hear from the new infield outfielder. That's how they have him listed as well here, which has been a topic of conversation. If he is going to try to stick it out in that middle infield role. He might be moving out to the outfield, Tim. So maybe they're going to test that out, see what he can do. Other ones on this list, just to round everything out: Luke Adams, Tate Keener, Luis Lara, Cooper Pratt, Ramon Rodriguez, Brock Wilkin, and Matthew Wood, all added to the spring training non-roster invitees. That coming from Adam McCalvey on Twitter. I don't know if you're familiar with this name, but Sparky tried to call me out on it with Matthew Wood. He was in Biloxi last year, Tim.
Okay.
It's another guy that if injuries happen, if the backup catcher position isn't really solidified, like, don't be surprised if you get a Vinny Capra story out of Matthew Wood.
Really?
He's been in the minors for a little bit. Last year was really the first year things started to click for him, but he was a part of Biloxi, and Biloxi was the best team of the minor league farm last year. Once they had to blow up Carolina and move everyone around, Biloxi was the only team playing in the postseason, and Wood continued to put up numbers every single time. So not it's a long shot for sure, but a guy that you should definitely keep a closer eye on in my mind, especially with a move like Reese McGuire coming in, if that backup catcher is not really solidified yet for Milwaukee.
Yeah, and you're just crossing our fingers. Over the past couple of seasons, Tommy, as you know, we've been seeing Jefferson Caro drop in those prospect rankings.
Yeah, I think it's a little ageist, those prospect rankings. I think the older you get, the farther you go down on them, and they want to hype up the young guys. All the top prospects in baseball are teenagers right now, Tim. I mean, you can name a 90s rock band and they're not going to know the name of them. Like, it's that's if you don't know the name of them, you get ranked higher, it feels like, on MLB Pipeline.
Did you see, I was looking through some of the lists. I looked at Baseball America, USA Today, and ESPN's prospect list today.
Yeah.
You see the number of shortstops on those lists?
Right. I mean,
Holy my goodness.
They love
shortstops.
Yes. Well, and that's kind of how the Brewers have operated before, right? And they bring a guy up as a shortstop and they move him wherever they want to after that, or draft him as a shortstop and move him wherever they want after that. The Brewers, they might, if you're going off of just shortstops, they have the best shortstop farm in the game, the Brewers, right now. It's not even close. With Mate, with Pena, with Pratt, with Williams, like, they're none of those. They're not going to have all those guys playing shortstop. They're going to have to move at some point otherwise they're just going to keep blocking guys off, or they're going to have to make a move on from those guys.
Yeah, if you look at what Churio did last spring, I breezed over his numbers. That dude was outstanding. Did you look at the numbers and you recall those numbers? I know it's Cactus League and people are working on their stuff, but my goodness, was he outstanding?
No, I don't know it off the top of my head. Let me take a peek.
Take a look at his spring numbers from last year. I'm looking forward to seeing guys like Cooper Pratt, obviously Jesus Mate. But as Tommy pointed out there, some of those sleepers involved as well. But man, to see some of those guys, that's their thing now. They realize it's not a Major League Baseball regular season game, but they are playing a Major League Baseball game against Major League Baseball players. Time for those guys to shine.
Yeah, and especially, what do you got to lose? Like, fast track yourself, put yourself on the map in the national media, try a new position out, right? I mean, you remember, gosh, the tease we got with Sal Frelick moving to the infield, from a couple of seasons ago. Like, this is the time to do it. Take your chance on it. It's low pressure for most of these guys, and the guys who are trying to make a club, you got to stand out in some way. So go ahead, try to show your versatility.
And they tried years ago, quick story, they tried Scooter Gennett in the outfield. Ooh, man, I was there for that debacle. That did not work out very well.
Did you see him and you were like, that guy's going to hit 4 home runs in one game?
No, but I stay in touch with him quite a bit, and he's a good dude. I'm really happy for him that he got what he got.
Yeah, it turned out to have a fine career.
He really did, and he got his money too. All right, you want to play a little bit of Pat Murphy and his acceptance speech for the Baseball Writers Association Manager of the Year?
Yeah, absolutely. Pat Murphy speaking about winning back-to-back Managers of the Year, and in true Pat Murphy fashion.
Baseball. I'm not quite sure what it is, but thank you. Shout out to the 86 Mets. You know, I was never good enough to play against the 86 Mets, but I played against 83 Lynchburg Mets. Where's Doc? How about it, Doc? Doc started 0-3 and then won 19 straight. Yeah. Dykstra was your center fielder, like 150 pounds, remember? Yeah. I couldn't get him out. Yeah. Great jobs, 86 Mets. All right, we're wondering now. I want to be brief. Where's the picture? What do we got? There it is. Okay, you guys remember Coming to America, right? Put up the other guy, the real guy. King Joffrey. Joffrey. There he is. The king of Zamunda. So here's the story behind it. This was going to be my outfit tonight. Go back to the other picture. Where's Judge? What do you think? I thought it would be funny. You know what I mean? These guys are so athletic looking and so much history, and who am I? I figured, yeah, I'll be funny. Well, we couldn't get it done in time. Vogt and I decided last year we were coming in Dumb and Dumber tuxedos. You remember those? We chickened out. Anyway, yeah, I want to talk about the 25 Brewers, you know, starting from our ownership and Mark and Debbie Atanasio, our front office. I call them the Ivory Tower. They've never made a mistake. Matt Arnold leads the minions there. It's beautiful. It is a real family atmosphere. We have to thread the needle. But I think about the most important thing, and that's those players. And I think about the 25 team. I mean, we got off to an unbelievable start. You guys remember the Yankee series? Judge didn't hit a ball below 105. He had like 7 homers in the first weekend. We had the biggest run differential in baseball history. True story. After 4 games. We got beat 11-0 on our home opener. It was beautiful. So I thought I was going back to college for sure. But they responded, you know, and a great leadership. We got a guy named Yelich. We had another great leader and a guy named Freddy Peralta, who you guys might get comfortable with. They were hungry. They were aware. And you mix that together, hungry and aware, good things can happen. And to see their faces early, people say, what's your biggest memory? To see their faces early in the year, and they didn't really believe some of the young guys, all of them under 5'9". But yeah, the Brewers contingent was going to be here tonight, but couldn't because we're spending on money on lowering the soap dispensers in the locker room. Because we just picked up one of your prospects, Jett Williams. He's like 5'5". That's how we roll. No, but it's a beautiful thing. 25 Brewers, I'm going to tell you the truth. This manager of the year thing, I mean, again, I don't know what you writers really do anyway, but like this is about the organization. This is about the players. I had an amazing group of guys that were hungry and aware and wanted to win. And it was their priority, and it never wavered. And they turned it around and did a great job, made me look good. And I'm very thankful to them, first and foremost, our front office, our ownership, and I guess the writers. Hell. But I'll close with this. The special night for me, I've got a New York family and I've got an Arizona family, but they're all here tonight, every one of them. The 4 mentioned, I appreciate that, Pedro, mentioning my children. Also, my 2 grandchildren are here. And I'd have a little smoother speech if I didn't have to spend a whole bunch of time educating on my 2 young children why Some of their nieces are older than them. Yeah, from every different country, every ethnic background, the whole Murphy family. I just, it's the most important thing in my life. My 4 children, beautiful Kelly, who gracefully just turned 40. Kelly, stand up. Kelly, please. Kelly, stand up. My son Kai, 25, minor league player, on his way. My son Austin, 11 years old. Raise your hand, Austin. My son Jackson, who's 6. My 2 beautiful grandchildren, Lucilia, who's 10, and Nayli, who's 5. I couldn't be more proud. I'm so thankful. They can teach you a lot in this game, and I'm so very grateful and thankful to be in the game overall. And I thank you all very much.
Yeah, there he is, Pat Murphy, Manager of the Year, 2 years running. And knowing what little I know of Pat Murphy, and I'm not going to say we're best friends or anything, but I do know enough about him that he really handled that well, Tommy, because he does not like to talk about his accomplishments. He just doesn't. He's not comfortable with it.
No, and he's talked about that humbleness before in post-game pressers and end of season, beginning of season. Yeah, he wants to keep it loose. He wants to keep it light. And he also, I think he just has bigger goals, right? And meaning that a World Series is on his mind at all times when he is a manager, because anytime you ever tried to give that team compliments last year, it was, well, what did they accomplish yet? And obviously once the season ends, then he gives all of his awesome, this guy was great and should be proud of this team. And they don't know anybody on this team, and now they're in the NLCS. But yeah, I mean, I think that's part of why this team fell in love with that Brewers team of 2025 is, yeah, like the fans bought into this is fun, but keep it going, right? Like, let's see how long this can last. And let's see if we can talk about our accomplishments when we accomplish everything.
He deflects any focus or attention on him. He deflects that to his team.
Yep.
And his coaching staff and the fans, just any or his kids,
staff
beside him. Yes. Wow. It's just real quick before the break, with Jett Williams, the latest member of the Brewers, will join us in just a couple of minutes. I'm wondering when the extension comes
for Murph.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, blank check. Go ahead.
I would assume that's going to be now. I'm just guessing. I have no inside information, but one would assume that they would extend.
They got to be working
3-year
towards
deal.
that with Ricky going up to the ivory tower or whatever. And
I hate to assume anything, but my goodness, just get it done. And maybe it's already done, and they're just waiting for the announcement.
Sure.
Maybe. All right, Jett Williams. We're going to have a conversation with him. One of the Brewers that was acquired in the Freddy Peralta deal. It's all part of Hot Stove Weekly here. Another edition. Tommy Wirtz, Tim Allen, live in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
I think just looking from top to bottom of the lineup and kind of the way they play, a bunch of short guys that are a little bit scrappy, so similar to me. But no, I think the way they play the game is kind of similar to how I play. Just go out there each and every day and play really, really hard. The ultimate goal is to win.
His introductory press conference, just a couple of days ago. Jett Michael Williams, the latest member of the Milwaukee Brewers. Welcome back. It's Hot Stove Weekly here. There's Tommy Wirtz, Tim Allen, and we're here live in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. And let's hit the fan guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law, and we welcome in Jett Williams. Jett, thanks for the time, man. Nice to meet you.
Yep, thank you. Nice to meet you.
Okay, so we just played the song. You've heard the Jett songs and all that. Are you buckled in? Because Murph's going to give you an airplane name. I know he is. It's a no-brainer.
You are going to be
ready?
Boeing by next week.
Boeing, yes. So you might want to buckle in for that. So Jett, tell us about what you've been going through here the last 6 or 7 or 8 days. When this whole thing broke open, where were you and who let you know the news?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's been kind of a mixed emotions, excitement and shock. The funny thing is I was actually in my parents' movie room. I was watching Landman, and I just finished an episode. I kind of turn it off. Parents come in, and we're kind of scrolling through the TV, and I click on the Dodgers versus, I think it was the Astros at the time, and I watched 2 pitches. It was a rerun. I was like, I'm not watching that. Get off of it, and it was the Milwaukee Brewers versus the Mets, and I click on it, and I was messing with my dad. And I was like, hey, Dad, look, there's my new team. Are you going to be excited? Kind of messing around with him. And he started laughing. And all of a sudden, I kind of look at Twitter, and Twitter's blowing up of hey, there's some serious talk going on about a trade with the Mets and Brewers. And I was like, oh, okay. I'm not really expecting to be in it. I think as a person, you don't ever think that you're going to get drafted or you're never going to get traded. So then that kind of went down, and I was like, I wonder who, the top of the person, who's it going to be for? And it was Peralta, and it was the main person going is Jett. And I was like, oh, wow. Okay. We'll see if this is true. And then it kind of kept getting hotter and hotter. And then my agent texted me and said, hey, get ready. Something's about to happen. And that's when I kind of was like, oh, this is actually serious.
Yeah.
And then about
and
10
Tommy,
minutes later, our GM called me and was like, yeah, you're getting traded. So I was at home, and it was kind of a interesting way to get traded just after watching the Brewers versus Mets game for a little bit, rerun. And then, yeah, so now I'm in Arizona right now. I got here yesterday. I'm already at the complex and everything and getting ready to go.
Yeah, so they were joking about it, that it might have been Milwaukee. It turns out to be Milwaukee.
Right. And Jett, in your introductory to the media, you had kind of brought up where you don't know anyone coming over here during this time. And, what does it mean, though? What is it like to get traded with a teammate, though? And how helpful has Brandon been during this transition? Because we had him on earlier, and I had asked him how fast this week had went, and I can imagine that you're already in Arizona. The turnaround is really quick. How much of it is is relying on Brandon to kind of help ease and acclimate and ease that transition into 26?
Yeah, no, I think it's definitely great that he's coming over with me. Just a wonderful human, perfect guy. I mean, I love hanging out with him. He's going to be my roommate in spring training. I have a great relationship with him, great ball player, but I think at the end of the day, he's somebody that you like to hang around. And Milwaukee's getting not only a great baseball player, but a great guy off the field. And I mean, everybody knows how good he is at baseball, but like I said again, I can't reiterate how great he is off the field, great teammate, somebody that you'd love to be around. But no, I think just being here kind of without him already, it reminds me of kind of getting drafted all over again and restarting, of trying to get to know everybody, kind of getting familiar with the complex, getting around. But no, I think it's definitely a different transition, but no, it's exciting. I'm excited just to meet new people, and I've heard nothing but great things about this organization.
Yeah, and another follow-up with that, we have Jett Williams on here, one of the newest Brewers, coming over via trade for Freddy Peralta. Like that right there, when you hear just you are a piece and a person being traded for a guy like Freddy Peralta, does that like give you some sort of excitement or some sort of vote of confidence where you're like, hey, this team really believes in me, to where they are giving up a guy that has been with the organization for a long time? Like they have to have a lot of confidence in you, and that's gotta spark something in you too, Jett.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, it's like everybody says, whenever you get drafted, there's always other teams watching you. I mean, the Mets were a wonderful organization, nothing but great things to say about them. They welcomed me in at 18 years old from high school. So I think when the trade went down, and for a guy like that, I mean, high praise to him, and great ball player. It's special, and that it's one of their guys, so they definitely see something in you. So it's definitely a blessing that this organization sees just a good ball player in me. And I think it, like you said again, it's one of their best players and a fan favorite, I've heard. And just trying to go into this new atmosphere and everything, just ready to learn, ready to attack each and every day. And I think it's just really special being able to kind of be a part of this organization that really wanted me, obviously, because they traded for me. So I think that's kind of another exciting factor that goes into this.
Jett, introduce your brand of baseball to Brewers fans, and I can just tell you this: the last few years under Murph and these go-getters, these, I call them pinballers. They're not going to hit a ton of homers, but they're going to pinball all over American Family Field. What kind of player are you, if you were to describe yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm just going to show up to the field every day, ready to work, try to work as hard as I can. Seeing the team being shorter guys, I mean, I think I'm more of a shorter guy myself. And I think for me, that's just kind of like being short helped me be the player I am today. Just kind of always having to grind, play hard, play with a little bit of chip on your shoulder, kind of little dirt bag. And I think that's just looking at the Brewers, like that's kind of what they are. They have some guys that are the big name guys, but not a lot, not like that. And it just goes to show you, like, they're in the playoffs every year, and they're working their tail off, and they're scrappy. I've heard that teams hate to play against them, and I think it's just really exciting, and I can't wait to get after it in spring training.
Well, you brought it up, your height. I remember talking to Caleb Durbin last year about that, and he had said that people at times can be judgmental, and we all know that, Jett. And growing through the ranks of travel ball or high school ball or whatever, they're always going to say, "Yeah, well, he's not big enough." And Caleb expressed that motivated him, because this is a game that can be played if you're Aaron Judge or Jett Williams, and that did motivate him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think just growing up, it's kind of always that little label by your name. I mean, he's, what is he, 5'7" or 5'8"? It's kind of always something about the height, like, oh, if he was 6 foot, he would be better, or this and that. And yeah, I think, like I said, it kind of shaped me at who I am today, of like on the baseball field, And I think really I try not to like really listen to too many people when it comes to that type of stuff. I just try to really, at the end of the day, play baseball, and then everything off the field. Just try not to take baseball off the field. Still, I tell everybody I'm still a normal human being. I'm no different than anybody else. So I just so happen to be really good at baseball, and I think now I'm able to play it at a high level. And I think just go out there each and every day and play hard and try not to really worry about what other people say or think.
Well, let me ask you one baseball question here. Jett Williams joining us on Hot Stove Weekly. How's the wrist feeling? I know you're coming off the surgery like a year and a half ago, and you came back with a little bit of pop last year in your bat. Did you have to make some adjustments with that? Is it something that naturally came after the healing process? First of all, how's the wrist feeling? And then how did you combat that after the injury?
No, wrist is amazing. Back to 100%. It's been 100% since the surgery happened. Great that Dr. Sheridan did my surgery. I did a successful surgery and haven't had a problem since. So thank God for that. And I mean, I would say I think 24 helped me kind of mature as a baseball player. I think just being hurt helped me kind of realize that at some point baseball is going to be over and you won't be able to play again. So I think that was kind of like my first time ever being hurt and missing a whole year. It kind of, I think just going into 2025 you never know when the last day could be. So really just go out there and play your hardest every single day, whether if you have a little nagging injury, not even an injury, but you're sore one day, it's just you got to fight through things like that. And just because you never know when it could be your last game. So yeah, I think just going into each and every game, playing as hard as I can and doing all your recovery stuff after the game. But once the game starts, it's just go as hard as you can. And obviously people tell me you can't do that over 162 games, but I try my hardest to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. It's a game of failure and how you handle that.
Mm-hmm.
There's always tomorrow, man. So what do we know about Jett Williams here? A Texas guy, you a gamer or not?
I don't really play video games that much. No.
Okay. So are you, now remember you're in Green Bay Packer territory. Are you a Cowboys fan?
Yeah, I've had to kind of deal with that a little bit too with the Mets fans whenever I got drafted, and they all asked me the same question: "Are you a Cowboys fan?" And then they're like, "Oh, you can't be a Cowboys fan and be a New York Met player." And I was like, "Well, I mean, yeah, I know, but yeah, I think this one might be a little bit different because that's kind of a big rival."
There's some broadcasters here in the state that are Cowboys fans too. Just to let you know,
on the show.
I'm just saying,
sorry.
Somewhere around here, there's some Cowboy fans.
Okay, all right, Tim.
Talking into a microphone. But Jett, we wish you the best of luck, man. I think you're going to fit in great, and I'm happy for you when you make that. I said when, not if. When you make your major league debut here in 2026, we appreciate it.
No, thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, there he is, Jett Williams, joining us on the fan guest hotline powered by Gruber Law. Good dude. He's going to fit right in. He's going to
absolutely
fit
play
right
style
in.
Fits into Brewer baseball, man. The baseball that everyone knew and loved last year, like Jett Williams. Write it down.
Yes, it fits the mold of a Sal Frelick, a Bryce Terang, a Caleb Durbin, all these guys. Boy, if I weren't a Brewer fan, I might just hate this team the way they put the ball in play. You know that? I would. That'd drive me crazy.
Like all of a sudden you're like, oh, that's the way the game's supposed to be played.
That's right. All right, we'll take a break and wrap things up here. Hot Stove Weekly, live in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Final couple of minutes on Hot Stove Weekly. Tim Allen, Tommy Wirtz talking some Brewers baseball each and every Wednesday night from 5 to 7. You can check it out from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by Potawatomi Sportsbook. A quick reminder, Tommy, you're going to be there with us.
I will be there.
Post-gamer party Friday night, Swagger's Sports Bar and Grill in Franklin on Rawson. Bunch of stuff to give away. It's free raffle. You just get a ticket when you go in. You hear your number called. You grab a T-shirt or a Jackson Churio jersey or a gift card or whatever you win in that particular drawing. There's no cover charge. So it's just sort of a celebration of a bunch of Brewer fans getting together.
Yeah. What more could you ask for?
That's it. So we'll shoot for next Wednesday at 5 o'clock, and we'll be locked and loaded and ready to talk some more Brewers baseball, inching a little bit closer. I mean, just in a few days here, guys. Come Sunday, it'll be the month of spring training. That's good.
Oh God, that feels awesome. I need it, Tim. This is the longest month of my life. It's just been like
tough.
January, man. Yep. It's just, it drags. And this year with all the buildup we have with the network and the show coming back here, like I'm just itching to get more than once a week on the air and talk some Brewers baseball.
Yeah, and I appreciate everybody involved with allowing us to do this and talk some Brewers baseball. I mean, it's something that I can speak for Tommy on this. We both love the team, and then they give us money for talking about a team we love.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right.
Imagine that.
It's not a bad gig.
No, not at all. But and always stay in touch. Make sure you log in into your phone, the fan talking text line with Nicolay Law at 414-677-1250. And that way you can get in touch, not only with us talking Brewers baseball, but with the rest of the staff, whether it's Sparky or Trevor and Josh in the morning and Kuhn and Rami and Mason Crosby and Thunder, as well as Steve Sparky Pfeiffer. He knows a thing or two about Brewers baseball.
He loves Brewers baseball. I know he's excited too.
Looking forward to it. Programming note, 2 weeks from today, Tommy's going to be flying solo on this show. Is that okay?
Yeah. We'll see. Maybe Sparky wants to join, or Charlie or someone. We'll figure it out. Yeah.
All right, very good. That's going to do it for us. Thank you for listening. Thanks to the Media Relations Department at the Brewers lining up Jett Williams and Brandon Sproat for our conversations here with the two newest members of the Brewers. Actually, with Reese McGuire coming in, probably not the
two
newest
of the last
anymore.
three.
Two of the three, yeah. Maybe we'll get Reese McGuire on. We don't know. But you guys have a great night. We'll talk to you again next Wednesday at 5 o'clock. Again, another edition of Hot Stove Weekly. Why? Because we love the Milwaukee Brewers. And is this the 26th championship season? It could be. I mean, we don't know. That's why you play the games, and that's why March 27th can't get here soon enough. Or is it the 26th?
26. White
26.
Sox, yep.
Yeah, 26 against the Sox. For Tommy Wirtz, my name is Tim Allen. You guys have a great night. We'll talk to you again very soon. And as always, smile, Wisconsin. Bob Uecker is smiling back.